Every single thought you have, every memory you pull up, every decision you make, it all hinges on one critical thing: blood flow.
See, your brain is the most energy-hungry organ in your entire body. But as we get older, something starts to happen that, honestly, most doctors never even test for. The tiny, vital molecule that keeps those rivers of blood flowing freely to your brain, well, it just starts to disappear. And this isn't some small change we're talking about. It's a full-blown crisis happening inside our heads. But what if I told you there's a simple, powerful way to fight back? To really wrap your head around this, you have to appreciate this number: 20%. Your brain, which is only about, 2% of your body weight, it demands a staggering 20% of all the blood your heart pumps out every single minute of every single day. It's an absolute powerhouse, and it needs a constant, powerful supply of fuel. Any little drop in that supply, well, it has immediate consequences. And right here, this is the core of the problem. After we hit age 60, our crucial molecule, the one that literally tells your arteries to relax and open up, it just begins to vanish. I want you to imagine the main water line to your house slowly getting narrower and narrower and narrower. That's exactly what's happening to the blood vessels that feed your brain. And the scariest part? This whole process is silent, it's unseen, and for most of us, it's completely unaddressed. This chart, wow, it really shows you the sheer scale of this decline. We're talking about a molecule called nitric oxide. When you're young, your body is just cranking it out at 100% capacity. But by the time you're 60 or 70 years old, that production can plummet by as much as 75%. Think about that. You could be running on just a quarter of the nitric oxide you had as a young adult. We're not talking about a minor dip here. This is a catastrophic drop. And the science on this makes a direct, absolutely crucial link to our cognitive health. A landmark 2018 study in Frontiers in Physiology didn't just guess at this, they measured it. They actually tracked the decline in nitric oxide and brain blood flow all the way from healthy older adults to those with mild cognitive impairment, and then to people with severe Alzheimer's. And the result was a terrifyingly straight line. As nitric oxide went down, blood flow dropped, and cognitive function declined right alongside it.
But here's where it gets exciting. This is why I can't wait to share this with you today. Because for all that alarming science, there's an absolutely incredible solution. It turns out your body has an ingenious backup system, a second way to produce this vital molecule. And you can turn it on with one simple, powerful morning drink that costs less than a cup of coffee. A groundbreaking new study just proved it can work, even in Alzheimer's patients, and I'm going to show you exactly how it works. Okay, so let's break this down. Let's really get into the weeds of this brain blood flow crisis. This is the science behind that brain fog and those memory slips that, let's be honest, so many of us start to feel. So what is this magic molecule? It's called nitric oxide, or NO for short. I want you to think of it as the master signaling molecule for your entire circulatory system. It's made right inside the lining of your blood vessels, and its main job is to send a very simple message: hey, relax, open up. It's what keeps your arteries flexible and wide, making sure blood can get where it needs to go, especially to your brain. And this is the perfect illustration of the difference. When you're young, with tons of nitric oxide, your arteries are like a brand new flexible garden hose. You turn on the tap and water just gushes through, no problem. But with low nitric oxide, that hose becomes like an old, stiff, narrow pipe. The same amount of pressure from the heart just can't push enough blood through. It's simple physics. So why does this happen? Well, the main assembly line for nitric oxide in your body is run by an enzyme called eNOS. But after age 40, this enzyme, it just gets old and inefficient. It starts to fail.
By age 60, like we saw, it's running on a tiny fraction of its former power, and by 70, production can be down by that staggering 75%. The main factory is, for all intents and purposes, shutting down. The chain reaction from there is simple and honestly pretty devastating. Less nitric oxide means your arteries get narrower and stiffer. That leads to less blood flow, what scientists call cerebral hyperperfusion. And the end result? It's like a constant traffic jam in your brain. Information can't move quickly, nutrients and oxygen aren't delivered on time. This is the physical reality behind brain fog, memory lapses, and slower thinking. Your brain is literally being starved of what it needs. But this is where the story completely turns around. This is where we get our power back. Because your body, in its incredible wisdom, built a second factory. An ingenious backup plant that doesn't rely on that old failing enzyme at all. This backup system is called the nitrate to nitrite to nitric oxide pathway, and it's just beautifully simple. It all starts with the food you eat. When you eat dietary nitrates from vegetables, very specific healthy bacteria on your tongue convert it into nitrite. That nitrite gets absorbed into your bloodstream, circulates around your body, and then it's converted directly into the nitric oxide you so desperately need. It completely bypasses that broken, aging enzyme system. So if we want to fire up this backup generator for our brain, we've got to feed it the right fuel. We need the single most potent, most concentrated source of dietary nitrate found in nature. So what is it? Beetroot. Yep, this humble root vegetable is basically nature's nitric oxide rocket fuel. It is by a long shot the most powerful food on the planet for activating this backup pathway. I want you to picture a vibrant, deep red-purple glass of juice on a sunny kitchen counter. That is the solution, right there, ready to flood your body with the raw materials it needs to open the floodgates to your brain. Now this is the part that changed everything for me as a doctor. It's one thing to know the theory, right? But it's a whole other thing to see the cold, hard proof. So let's look at the cutting-edge science that confirms this isn't just some hopeful idea. It's a clinical reality. This is just incredible. A groundbreaking study, literally just published in the journal Nitric Oxide, did something that had never been done before. They gave nitrate-rich beetroot juice to patients who already had Alzheimer's disease, and for the first time ever, they showed it could improve their vascular function. Just think about that for a second. Even in a brain already ravaged by disease, this simple drink was able to make a positive, measurable difference to their blood vessels. And it doesn't stop there. Another huge paper out of Penn State had older adults drink beetroot juice every single day for 4 weeks. The result? It significantly improved their brain's ability to regulate its own blood flow, a function called cerebral autoregulation. This is absolutely critical for protecting the brain from blood pressure swings and making sure it gets a steady, stable supply of oxygen. But here's the most fascinating part of all, the bit that really surprised the researchers. Beetroot juice actually works better in older adults than it does in younger adults. And why is that? Well, it's because younger people still have a primary enzyme system that's working pretty well. But in older adults, whose main factory is failing, turning on this backup pathway makes a much bigger, more dramatic difference. The older you are, the more your body needs this, and the more it benefits.
Okay, so how do you actually put this amazing science into practice? It is so simple, and you've got options. Let's walk through it. You've got 3 great choices here. First, the easiest, a little concentrated 70 milliliter shot. That's about 2.5 ounces. You can find these online or in most health food stores. Second, you can make your own fresh juice. Just juice 1 or 2 medium beets, maybe throw in an apple to sweeten it up. And third, my personal favorite, is the Brain Blood Flow Smoothie. You just blend some cooked beetroot with blueberries, spinach, maybe a banana. You get the nitrates plus all those amazing antioxidants for the maximum effect. Now, before you run out to buy a truckload of beetroots, there is one critical warning, one common everyday habit that can completely sabotage this entire process and stop it from working. And this is the detail that I really need you to share with everyone you care about. Antiseptic mouthwash. Remember how I said the very first step of this backup pathway involves healthy bacteria on your tongue? Well, that harsh antiseptic mouthwash, it doesn't know the difference between good and bad bacteria. It just nukes everything, including the specific ones you need to convert nitrate into nitrite. And the impact here? It's not small. Studies show that using an antiseptic mouthwash can slash the nitric oxide boosting benefit of beetroot juice by up to 90%. 90! You'd be drinking this amazing juice for almost no benefit at all. So if you're serious about your brain health, you have to ditch the antiseptic mouthwash. Regular brushing and flossing is all you need. All right, let's put all these pieces together. Let's build the ultimate morning routine to maximize your brain's blood flow. A routine where every single step works together. Here it is. It's so simple. Step 1. Wake up and immediately drink a big glass of water to rehydrate. Step 2. Brush your teeth, but remember, absolutely no antiseptic mouthwash. Step 3. Drink your beetroot juice, your shot, or your smoothie. Step 4. Now wait about 15 minutes. Let those good oral bacteria get to work. Step 5. Go for a 15 to 30-minute walk. Exercise itself is a powerful nitric oxide booster, so you're getting a double whammy. And step 6, when you get back, have a nice cup of green tea for even more cognitive support. It's a powerful, simple, and incredibly effective start to your day. You know, the best way I can explain this is to think of a garden. Your brain is a beautiful, complex garden, and blood flow is the water. For that garden to thrive, to grow, it needs a constant, steady supply of water. But after age 60, for most of us, the tap that controls that water supply is slowly, silently closing. Beetroot juice is how we wrench that tap back open. It's not a drug. It's not some complicated procedure. It's simply turning on a brilliant backup pathway your body already has. A pathway that completely bypasses the broken, aging enzyme system that's been failing you all this time. And look at this. The cost? It's about $2 a day. That is cheaper than your morning cup of coffee. And the benefit? Well, it's not just about some temporary boost. It's about giving your brain the single most important thing it needs to function at its best for the rest of your life: blood flow. So, the question I want to leave you with is this. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, what are you going to choose? You can go on with the same old routine, or you can make one small, simple $2 change. You can choose to open that tap and give your brain the nourishing blood flow it has been waiting for. Your brain's future is in your hands. Feed it well.